Hi, my name is Leigh-Anna Phillips, and welcome to our discussion on pre-literacy development, how to grow readers. So, first of all, let's look at this sweet video of this baby here. Is this baby reading? So, what do you think? Is that child reading? Well, obviously that child wasn't really reading the words. But did you see all of those reading behaviors and characteristics that child was showing? That child knew about how to turn the pages. The child knew that the words would be on the page. They were looking down at the book as they were reading or pretending to read. This child also had this wonderful expression and intonation as they were reading this book. It sounded very exciting to me. So this child has a strong literacy background. And this is the type of background that we want to create for the students and children that we come into contact with. So today we're going to talk about oral language, which is the early foundation of reading, environmental print and how it carries meaning, shared reading, which is adults and children reading together and how that supports early reading skills, and then also writing development and how all of this ties in together. So let's talk about oral language, the foundation of reading. So oral language development is considered one of the highest predictors of reading success. So as children listen and speak, they are acquiring the structures of our language. They are growing their vocabularies. So we need to begin with a rich conversation. Okay, we need to have very rich conversations with our children. So instead of just walking in, sometimes we're tired, or we may just give business type talk, such as sit down or come here. We need to really be expressive with our children and use a broader range of vocabulary and phrases because they do pick this up. Watch this baby and tell me your opinion. You probably have seen this video before, but what do you think about this baby? Does this baby have a rich literacy background?
You need to work on that, right? Yes, okay. Did you understand it though? No. Okay. All right. Huh? Oh, not this one. This is Savannah Valley. Yeah, that's the last one. That's what I was wondering. I don't know what they're gonna do next season because they did some stuff this time. Exactly what I was thinking. Oh yeah. Right. Don't bring that in. You know what I'm saying? Don't do the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like that. Yeah. Like go somewhere else with that, but don't bring here. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what do you think? Do you think they talk to this baby? Absolutely. This child has all of the expression and intonation and obviously has this conversation that they have that they're building and having with this adult, which is their dad. So with this rich type of vocabulary and understanding of language, It really helps a child transition to school easier. It will make learning easier for them, and then obviously reading as well. And one of the biggest indicators of school success is the amount of prior knowledge they come into school with. So as much of this as we can front load with our students, the better chance of success we help them or we provide for them. So what are some ways that we can build oral language? Well, one way is to have a question of the day. Don't just ask yes or no questions, but engage them in questions that require them to elaborate, like, what is your favorite toy and why is it your favorite toy? And then what about the people in your family? What are they like? Describe the people in your family. Tell me about the people in the family, about their personalities and the funniest thing about them. So also sharing oral stories. When a child comes in and begins to tell you a story, be interested in what they're telling you. Ask them questions to extend their answers or to extend their story or to clarify parts, or even have them retell a part of a story that you've just read using their own words. What about dramatic play? When children are playing together, they often play with others in imaginary roles. Have them really talk to you about, what they're playing and why they're playing it and what their different characters are doing. Also, if you have a favorite book, have them act out one of the scenes of this favorite book. Maybe while you're taking a walk or you're outside playing on the playground, talk about all the things you're hearing and seeing that are around you. Make up silly songs about putting your shoes on or going to the store or leaving for the day. Also, if you're going grocery shopping with a child, ask them to do things like, let's get 3 red apples and 2 green apples, and then let them count those apples out into the bags. So all of this will help build build the foundation for reading. So how early can we start? Well, we can start as young as babies. So parents and early childhood caregivers can engage a child in many activities that help them develop this ear for language and learn how print and books work. So it's important that these activities develop skills such as important activities that develop these skills are talking to and having real conversations like we saw before, starting when they're a baby, pointing out signs in our neighborhood and different labels in the grocery store, and reading aloud to babies and young children. The next video we're going to watch is about a family who has been encouraging their preschool age children, and one is even a baby, but they're encouraging them and showing them all about a love for reading.
All right, where's the R?
2.5-year-old Mira couldn't be getting a better start for life as a reader.
Next to the I.
She can already name most of the letters of the alphabet.
Right. And then finally A, where's the A?
When it's time to become a reader, she'll have less to learn because of the head start her parents are giving her.
Yeah, good job. Give me 5. Good job.
Look, Mira, melons. M for melons and M for Mira. Look, we have melons in our list.
Mira's mother does what reading researchers recommend. She finds opportunities to point out print and how it's used.
Look, Mira, C for cucumbers.
Mira is learning that signs are different from shopping lists,
Peppers. Let's get some.
which are different from stories. Mira is also discovering that all of these kinds of writing are made up of words, which in turn are made up of letters.
C for cauliflower. M for mushrooms.
When Mira starts learning to read, she'll already know a lot about print, much more than she knows about self-control.
I want some of this.
Mira is getting such a rich exposure to books in print, it's clear she can't wait to read on her own. In fact, like many children, Mira pretends to read.
Make a wee rocks.
Her play reading reveals that she already knows how books work. This knowledge comes from watching her parents read to her, and that's something they do every day. Every evening after dinner, Mira's parents switch off the phone and television for reading time. It's Mira's favorite part of the day.
Eat a good breakfast. And don't forget to wash the dishes, dear.
More is going on here than meets the eye. From her mother's moving finger, Mira learns that the print tells her mother what to say. She doesn't just make up a story based on the pictures. The details that Mira and her 2-month-old brother Vijay are picking up are certainly important. But the most vital lesson this evening may be the simplest. Reading is a pleasure.
Going. I think it's with his brother, Mommy.
His mommy and daddy want him to go and get his little brother.
The single most important thing that a parent can do to help a child learn to read is to transmit a love of reading to their children. Let them see you reading as a parent. Let them see that you enjoy and love print. And I say this to parents, even if you are not a reader yourself, you can still communicate to your children that books matter.
Vijay can't yet follow the twists and turns of the plot, but he is paying attention to his mother's voice,
Try to stay out of trouble.
tuning his brain to the elementary speech sounds that make up English. He's already laying the foundations for becoming a reader.
And we'll be home soon.
Tenait dans son bec un fromage. Maître Renard, par l'odeur alléchée, lui tint à peu près ce langage.
静夜思，李白。床前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月。
The human voice can produce at least 150 different speech sounds or phonemes. English uses only 40 or so of these sounds.
So, what is another thing that we can do to help these pre-literacy skills? Well, one of the next steps is identifying and having children read environmental print. This is one of the first ways that we can help our children understand that print has meaning. So, environmental print is used to begin to help understand the connection between sounds and letters and words and how they're all used to help communicate. So, why does this work? Sounds carry meaning and print carries meaning. Linking the two together are the beginning of reading. Print can be found all around us. So it's on our street signs and on labels of the foods that we eat. It's on the symbols of the shows that we watch, on stores and restaurants and more. Children can spot it in the grocery store or just even driving down the road. And all of this is known as environmental print. These images and symbols have meaning, and they're connecting the two to language, and it helps children learn that images and symbols are used to communicate. By having children notice and read environmental print, they learn that images and symbols have meaning. So, for example, if I look out my window right now and I see a large yellow M, a green circle with a lady in it wearing a crown, and a red octagon with 4 letters on it. Do you know what I'm describing? You probably do. You know that it's McDonald's, Starbucks, and a stop sign. Anyone that's had a toddler in the car that loves McDonald's knows when you drive by McDonald's, they're going to say McDonald's out of the car. So look around your environment. What symbols do you see that have meaning? So here is another example. I'm going to go down here and make this a little bit larger. So here are some other examples of environmental print that you can find really just even on the internet. And then we'll talk about some of the things that you can do right here with these types of symbols. So, for example, Okay? You can have your students read environmental print sentences. Okay? And so hopefully you can see that this sentence says, I can read. And then at the end here, we have a goldfish packaging label. So you would create sentences like this, either in a sentence chart where you could just slip all of the words into the different pockets of the sentence chart, or you can do use sentence strips like this and put different images at the end, and then teach the student to read, I can read goldfish, or I can read McDonald's, or I can read Skittles, or I can read stop. So this can be used in every classroom. Also, here we have an example of environmental print bingo. Again, with a lot of the symbols that are around your community, and then knowing your students and the type of toys like Legos and Barbies that they like, then you can create environmental print bingo cards and call the card out, and then have the students put the counters on top. So if I said McDonald's, I think the students would know, most students would know that that giant yellow M stands for McDonald's. Also, environmental print matching. So here we have cereal box tops and they're matching. And so as they turn them over, they read them, Apple Jacks. And then if they make a match, then they get to keep those two. Also, you can take the fronts of cereal boxes and cut them into puzzles for students to put together. You can also go around the community and even ask your students to bring in different images of different things, a different environmental print that you could use inside of an alphabet linking chart, or even a word wall of sorts. Or actually, I guess it would be a letter wall or a sound wall. So also environmental print letter recognition cards, where for letter M, we would have McDonald's. For L, we would have Legos. So what about shared reading? Shared reading is a way to help children to make connections to print. So what is shared reading and print concepts? Well, it's a great way to reinforce these print concepts, which are like, what is the front of the book? Show me the back of the book. Which way do we turn the pages? Which way does the print go? So this is when an adult and the students read the book together and they analyze the text together. The adult models how the print works. They point to the words, they talk about the punctuation, they point out different text features. And the adult models what readers do and think. And with this, they create opportunities for students to interact with the text and practice their own reading skills. Have students point out some of the words as they start to repeat in the text. Have students help turn the pages and have them notice and react to the different text features. In the video that we're going to watch now, we have Mrs. Bettis, who is working with the kindergarten group.
So today we're going to do writing, we're going to do reading, we're going to do a lot of different things. We might do them a little bit different than how Ms. Smith does them sometimes, but they're pretty much the same thing as what you're already used to doing. Okay. So item number 1, do you have your name stuck to your shirt? Okay, why do you think that's there? Exactly. It's very, very important that I know your name. So it's very, very hard when you're 5 years old. Yeah, you want to peel it off and stuff, but what I'm going to really ask you to do is to try not to mess with it, because that's how I'm going to be able to call on you. I can look back there and I can say, Aubrey, or Cynthia, or Amelia. I can call your name and you'll know that I'm talking to you. Does that make good sense? Yeah. Okay, so that's the first thing. Try to leave your name tag along. The next thing I need to talk to you about, and Alice is already doing an amazing job of this, all of you really are, is I brought you, this is my poster from my kindergarten. This is my rug rules. And then guess what? When I got here, yeah, some of you, there's your rug rules. And look, much the same thing, right? Again, Miss Bettis might do it a little different, but it's the same thing as what Miss Smith is already doing. So if you need to talk, you would raise your hand. But guess what? If it's my turn to talk and I'm teaching you something, should you be raising your hand and waving it around at me? No, I'm going to go back right now. That's what I would say to you. Yeah, I'm going to go right now. And then you just put it down, but then the next time when you can talk, I want to hear what you have to say, just not when it's my turn. Does that make sense? Okay. So raising your hand to talk, facing Miss Bettis. Now this is really important to me. Since you're such big kindergartners, I think you can get this really great, but this is how Miss Bettis would do it. I would say something like, have you ever seen flowers and how they move with the sun? No? Okay, so let me tell you something, a little bit of science. So when it's morning and the sun is over here, the flowers face the sun. And then through the day, as the sun moves up and then down, the flowers, guess what their faces do? They move with the sun. So here's what I want you to pretend. I'm going to be your sun, and you're going to be my flowers. Can you do that? Because sometimes Miss Bettis might teach here, but then guess what? Oh, are you moving with me? Sometimes Miss Bettis is going to teach over here, and then, yeah, turn your body. There you go. Your flowers. Nice job. Really good work. Because it's really important that I see your face and that you see my face. Now, I'm not going to come over here and teach, but sometimes, Miss Smith might go back there to the word wall or do something. Oh, my flowers are turning already. Oh, you're so fancy. Okay, so leave your name tags on so I can know your name. Turn with Miss Bettis so that I can see you and you can see me. If you want to talk, if it's a time that Miss Bettis is talking, yeah, I would be like, you do this, but then I'm going to do it. And you're going to right? Nice. Let's see. I think we're going to do some things where you need a partner. Right now where you're sitting, can you point at your partner at the rug right now? Excellent. And so if somebody, Rose, who are you pointing at, sugar? Is Alice your riding partner or your regular rug partner? Rug partner. Could you be Luke's? I think you're Luke's partner, okay? So in a minute when we get ready to do rug talk, you'll be Luke's partner, and then we'll do riding partners in a minute, okay? Excellent. All right, what else do I need to tell you? My turn. Your turn. Oh my goodness, are you ready to get started? Yeah. All right, Atlas, one comment. What you got? We are getting you ready for first grade. That's why we're here. Did you know that? Everything we're doing is so we can learn to be better readers and writers and thinkers so we can be ready for first grade. All right, I think I'm ready to get started. Are you ready to get started? Yeah. All right. So you've noticed that Miss Bettis has this book right here. Yes? It is a big book. We are going to use this together today. This book is called, it's got fruit on it. It's called A Rainbow of Fruit. This is the title. It's by Brooke Matthews. This is the author who wrote this book. All right. And so this book is nonfiction. All right. It's going to be about real fruits. It's going to be about real kids. And we're going to read it together. We're going to see a lot of regular things, and at the end, there's a puzzle. There's a little surprise that I want you to help me listen for. And since we're reading the big book, I'm going to use my pointer finger. So it's A Rainbow of Fruit. Very nice. Very nice. It's my turn. It's my turn to talk. All right, here we go. Look at all the colors of fruit. These kids are going to make something with fruit. It will be a surprise. That's the surprise at the end that we're going to find out. Dina likes the color red. She likes her red hat. What fruit does Dina like? And right here we have a caption that says red hat. So she likes red and she's wearing a red hat. Dina likes strawberries. A strawberry is red. Oh, and look down here. We've got some other fruits that are red in this box. Other fruits are red too. Cherries, apples, and those are raspberries. Give me a thumbs up if you've seen a raspberry before. Yeah. They're really good. All right, let's keep going. Are we ready? Jaden likes the color orange. He likes his orange ball. What fruit does Jaden like? So there's Jaden. Here's his orange ball. And I want you to think in your mind right here. Yeah, we're not doing our hands. We're thinking, if he likes orange, what kind of fruit do we think that Jaden probably likes? So we're just thinking. I'm going to turn the page and let's see. Jaden likes an orange. Give me a thumbs up if you were right. An orange is orange. Other fruits that are orange too. Apricots, tangerines, and peaches. Oh, it's my turn to tell. Hannah likes the color yellow. She likes her yellow kite. What fruit does Hannah like? So this time I want you to think about it in your mind. What fruit might Hannah like? And then, all right, so do you have your light bulbs on? Are you all set? All right, turn and tell your partner. What fruit do you think Hannah likes that's yellow? Okay, come right now. Let's see. Are you ready? All right, you've made your guesses. Sometimes we turn and talk really fast, and that's okay. Ready? We're going to see what it was. Hannah likes pineapples. A pineapple is yellow inside. Other fruits are yellow too. Bananas, lemons, and grapefruits. Did your partner say banana? Yeah. Maybe? I thought banana too. I was really surprised when I turned the page.
I said cheese because it's green.
Okay, let's keep going. And remember, this book is all about what?
Yeah.
Fruit. So when you're making your choices, think about fruits that are this color, okay? That'll help give you a clue. All right, it's my turn. Tashi likes the color green. He likes this green plant. What fruit does Tashi like? So stop and let's think for a second about green fruit. This one's tricky. Okay, did you think? Your light bulbs are on?
No.
Okay. Turn and tell your partner what kind of green fruit might be like. Charlie, can you give me a party all fruit? All right. Finish our conversation. Turn back this way. Are we ready? We're going to see what it was. Tashi likes kiwi. A kiwi is green inside. Other fruits are green too. Green grapes, green pears, and green apples. Okay, we've got another one. Are we ready? What color do you think Max likes? Max likes the color blue. He likes his blue yo-yo. What fruit does Max like? And look at this label right here. It says blue yo-yo. That's a yo-yo right there. Okay, so let's think. Turn your light bulb on. Are you all set?
Yeah.
All right. All right, come back to me. Good job. You are getting so fast at that. Are you ready? Let's look together. Rachel, are you ready? Rachel. Okay, are you ready? Big reveal. What did Max like? All right, let's keep reading. Max likes blueberries. Blueberries are blue. And look at these. You may have said these other fruits are blue too. Huckleberries and blue plums. Miss Bettis has got a cool story about huckleberries. I'll tell you next time I'm here though. All right, what color next?
Purple.
Emma likes the color purple. She likes her purple umbrella. What fruit does Emma like? And she's got her purple umbrella. So, yep, first we're thinking. You turn on your light bulb. All right, are you all set? All right, turn and talk. What do you think might be purple? Great. Thank you. Okay. It's nice to meet you. I'm Miss Bennett. I'm going to teach you just a thing or two, okay? All right, are you ready? Okay, let's find out. Turn around. Turn around. Okay. Here we go. She likes purple. There's a lot of good choices for purple fruit. Emma likes grapes. Some grapes are dark purple. Some grapes are light purple. Other fruits are purple too. We've got blackberries and figs. Figs. All right, here we go. Are you ready for the surprise?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at all the fruit. There are so many colors. What are they making? Okay, I want you to think, just think in your head, what do you think they might be making? Are you ready? Let's see. A rainbow of fruit. I heard somebody say rainbow.
Me.
How did you know? Was there a clue that you had?
Yes,
Oh, it's Penelope.
rainbow.
Just a second. Penelope's trying to talk, and it's our turn to listen to her. Penelope, what made you think it would be a rainbow at the end?
Okay, we got our
In a curve. But how did you know? On this page, you didn't know. Do you want to help? They were getting the fruit ready. Rachel, how did you know?
Because the book was about fruit and rainbows, so I thought they would make a rainbow of the fruit.
Did you hear what she said? Alice, you look like you're doing a talk move for. You want to add on? Alice, what would you like to add on to that?
Because that the rainbow has the same kind of pattern as the name.
Did y'all hear what Alice just said? It is so more important for us to listen to people when they have some. So Rachel said she knew the clue because she remembered the title of the book. And when authors pick a title, so often it gives us clues about what's going to happen in the story. That was so smart. And then what Alice just added on was that the colors of the fruit are the colors of the rainbow. And you are absolutely right about that.
How I could guess the right thing is because the fruits on the front of the page were the ones that they liked. So when I saw the first page, I guessed strawberries because that was on the front of the page because those are all they picked. So I thought those would be the fruits.
I am so excited to be here with you guys today because I can tell we are going to learn a lot. So I'm going to move on for a second. So something I like to do when I read nonfiction books like this is I like to think about something called the main idea. The main idea. Have you heard those words before?
No. Yes.
Some people yes, some people no. That's okay. Depends on where you're at in the world. So the main idea is what this book would be all about. So I want you to take a second and think, just by yourself, what was this book all about? What was on all of oh, nope, just thinking. Have you ever heard spoons in the bowl? Do you have spoons in the bowl? What do you do? Hands in lap? Hands in lap. So I'm just thinking with my hands in my lap, what this book, what was on all the pages, what was it entirely about? So if you add on, do you ever answer like this?
No,
Fair enough. Andrea, what do you think this book was all about? Oh, I'm sure. I apologize. Andrea, what do you think this book was about? All about colors is great. I like that. Rose, do you want to add on to that?
I saw also on the next page, like on the end, how a rainbow started a fruit. Was it old?
Yeah. It did go in a
red, yellow, green, blue, purple.
Y'all, I don't know if you just realized what Rose did, but Rose recognized that the order that we went in the fruit was the actual color of the rainbow. Rose, that was very smart. Have you ever noticed that the rainbow colors are always the same?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the pattern of how we went through the book. Rose, kiss your brain. That was amazing. Atlas, my friend, I feel like you want to say something about the main idea. What do you got for me?
Rainbows.
Wait, my question is, what do you think that this book was all about? Sorry, that's, yeah.
It was all about fruit and they were making fruit.
Absolutely. It was all about different kinds of fruit and making a rainbow of fruit. So now, let's put our spoons back in the bowl. So now, what are some important details? So if we're thinking about, it's all about making a rainbow of fruit and different kinds of fruit. What are two details? Now, a detail is something that just happens in a small spot, but that's still about that. Aubrey, can you think of a detail for me? What's one thing you remember? Definitely. Hey, Cash, can you remember one of the pages?
The color, there were different kinds of fruit colors that you could eat.
Can you remember what happened on one of these pages? So we're trying to find a detail. So it would be one of the fruits or one of the things that happened.
Like one of the fruits was red.
Yes, and what fruit was red?
Strawberry.
So one detail might be that the kids liked strawberries and they put that in the rainbow? Yeah, okay.
So instead, I almost saw like the people who like green, like I thought they liked blueberries, but they didn't actually like blueberries. They liked the color green.
There were definitely some surprises through it, wasn't there? Okay, Damari, do you remember one of the pages in this book, one of the details?
You know the colors of the
Yeah. Pick one. Which one?
The colors of the fruits.
Yes.
Their shirts was those colors.
That is a very, very important observation that you made. They were dressed like their fruit. That was so smart. Charlie, can you think of a detail? So our main idea is this book was all about different kinds of fruit and the kids made a rainbow, right? So what would be one detail, one thing that was just a piece of that whole process?
Everything that they had and they were wearing.
They were. Okay, so let me help you out with this, okay? So one detail might be that they used pineapple when they were making the rainbow. Yeah, because it was just on one page. Another detail might be that they liked kiwi and they put that in there. Okay, just 1 second, okay? Very good. All right, so I liked this book. I think you're going to get to do some other special things with this book with Miss Smith later this week. All right. So here's what we're going to do right now. We need to start our writing. So our writing captains are going to get the...
So in that video, what were some of the ways that Mrs. Bettis helped the students connect to that book? Well, first of all, she talked about it being nonfiction. And then she also used a pointer to point to the words as she read those words. Also, she pointed out the captions that said like orange ball, I think was one of them. And also, she was turning the pages. And so that way the students are learning and really understanding that that is the way that we read in English, and that's the direction we turn our pages. I hope you also noticed that as she progressed throughout the book, she allowed the students to interact more and more with the book. So she modeled more at the first and then gradually released the book to the students. So how does this all turn into or relate to writing? You'll notice that they were getting ready to have their writing workshop. Well, writing has meaning as well. So sometimes we may think that a child's writing is just scribbling, but there really is more than meets the eye. So look at this. This is the beginning scribbles. And again, it may just look like scribbles, but this child is mimicking the structures of letters and sentences. When you see this kind of writing, you want to ask the child to read it to you and see what happens. This is actually a note from my daughter, who is now 21. And she did this at her Grammy's house, and she was telling me or writing to me about all of the things that she was doing at her Grammy's house. And you might be able to make out up here that you might see the A, and these are B's, and there's a Y in there. They're not very well formed, but her name was Abby, or is Abby. So she was starting to learn to write her name. Now, this is an example of my other daughter, and she copied her name here, and you can see that she's really starting to form the letters well, but the rest of it is kind of scribbles again, but she's definitely drawing a picture, and she's labeling this picture, and she's telling a story about this picture. And she wrote about herself in this. I can't remember what the story is, but this daughter is now 23. And then we have this example. Now, again, we have these cute little drawings, and then there are letters here. This is a whole string of letters. And again, you'll want to ask the child, what story are you telling, or what meaning does this have? Can you read this to me? Then look at this sweet little note. You can tell that this child is starting to see or to be able to relate sounds to letters and even sound out some letters or sound out some words. So when asked, this read, I love you, which I think most people can tell. And then at the birthday, or at the bottom, it says, happy birthday, and then mom. So this child was definitely connecting sounds and symbols to combine words. And then, and in this final example, the child uses even more conventional spellings. The letters have better form, and she is using sentences and spaces between words. There's even punctuation. And so now we're at the end, and let's just go over and see if we reached all of our goals. We talked about oral language being the foundation of reading, and we really want to engage our children and students in these rich dialogues and conversations, and don't just baby talk to them. Really get them talking and using broader vocabularies and phrasing. Also, let's show them environmental print, and let's create sentence strips and different games and words and different things that that they can read and interact with. I'll be posting a game, or asking to post a game for you guys. So that's called I Have, Who Has. And in this game, one student, if you have the Skittles and you're looking for the Tootsie Roll, you say, I have Skittles, who has Tootsie Rolls? And then they meet up with that next partner. Also, with shared reading, this is an extension. Once we understand through environmental print and through beginning reading that print carries meaning, and this is the one way that we can communicate with each other, and then that through reading, we'll be connecting all of those sounds to words and to letters. Then we get into shared reading, and this is where we investigate those connections together with our students. And then we move into writing development. And you can see along the way with all of those examples, the different stages of understanding each of these children had in the examples that you saw. So even as a toddler, as a 3-year-old, they can begin to scribble out messages. And then you just ask them, what does that say? Can you read that story to me? And let them read it to you and tell you all about what they wanted to tell you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have learned something and are able to take something back with you. Thank you very much.